Hello guys, my name is Lasha and today I will be teaching you upper intermediate vocabulary lesson, and the topic for today's lesson is hospitals and health insurance. If you remember, I have done one lesson about health and medicine already, but this time I will explain you different words about hospitals, like the rooms, the doctors, and as for health insurance, I will teach you the vocabulary that you will need to use if you ever need to buy health insurance or deal with health insurance companies. We will learn some vocabulary as usual, and then we will do exercises about the vocabulary, some multiple choice, gap filling exercises, and listening exercises if we have enough time for all these. I wish all of you a very good lesson, and I hope that you will be active and you will join me in the lesson. So we have two topics for today's lessons: hospitals and health insurance. During the first lesson, I will be focusing on hospitals, and second lesson, I will focus on health insurance. Okay? So before we start discussing anything about hospitals, first I think we should know that there are two types of hospitals: public hospitals and private hospitals. Okay? Which one is better in Turkey? Public hospitals or private hospitals? I mean, which one has better doctors? Which one has better service? Um, Probably prices, it's very easy to understand. Private hospital is more expensive than public hospitals, I think. But what about other things? The doctors, where do you have better doctors? In public or private hospitals? And what about the service? Where do you have better service? In public or private hospitals in Turkey? Let's see if you can please answer these questions. I will be checking your comments on YouTube and Facebook channel as well. Let me check Facebook. We are already live on YouTube. I see. Now I have Facebook as well. Good. So guys, my question is, which one is better in Turkey? Public hospital or private hospital? I have visited both of them, personally in Turkey, and I have, of course, my idea about it, but I'm interested in your opinion. Which one do you prefer and why? For me, I can say that private hospital is more expensive than public hospital. Maybe we can write this sentence as an example. Private hospitals are more expensive than public hospitals. I see comment from PTR. In public hospitals, there are better doctors, but service is better in private hospital. PTR, I agree with you 100% about Turkey. I think that there are better doctors in public hospitals, more educated doctors, which I was very shocked when I found this out. Because in other countries, usually we have better doctors in private hospitals. But in Turkey, I liked public hospital doctors more. As for the service, public hospital service sucks. It's very, very bad in Turkey, and not only in Turkey. Actually, I have been into hospitals in Turkey, Georgia, United States, Ukraine, Russia, in 5 countries. And the worst one, I think, was Ukraine. The health management there is very, very, very bad. The worst one was Ukraine, and second worst one maybe can be Turkey's public hospital about the service. So public hospitals, I'm using PTR sentence. Public hospitals have better doctors. Okay, good. Now let's talk about the doctors. We have many, many different kinds of doctors, and sometimes we don't know their names in English, because I'm sure in Turkish you use different names and you don't copy the name from English language. My advice to you is, before you go to hospital, if you ever need to go to hospital in English speaking country, please always check some vocabulary that you might need to use, because generally general English and medical English, it's so different thing. Not just English, every language. They use some special words which you may not know. They ask you some questions, and even if you know English well, it will be difficult to answer the questions with the doctor, because I'm sure everyone has stress when they are at the hospitals. So what I do, for example, in Turkey, I don't know Turkish very well. Therefore, I check some of the words that I may need when I go to hospital. So before going, I check the words. I remember the pronunciation. I listen to these words, check the pronunciation. Then when I go to hospital, I'm kind of ready for the conversation with a doctor, because they use sometimes so different words which I have never heard in Turkish, for example. I know the synonym of the word. I know another word with the same meaning, but doctor uses different words, so I cannot understand. I have faced problems many times with doctors. So if you ever need to go to English-speaking country and you need to go to hospital, please check some vocabulary before visiting a doctor. Now, as for the types of doctors, first one we have got here allergists or immunologists. Do you know, guys, what allergist is? What is the job of allergist? Of course, this doctor is someone who treats allergy. Okay? So, person who is responsible for treating allergy problems is allergist or immunologist. It has two different names with absolutely same meaning. Let's try to create sentence about allergists. For example, I can say that I have never visited an allergist in Turkey. Next word, we have got anesthesiologist. Anesthesiologist is a doctor who prepares you for surgery, for example. You need to have a surgery, and before the surgery, you need to sleep. Anesthesiologist is the person who makes you fall asleep. Okay? It's not a nurse. Anesthesia means to make some parts of our body sleep. So the person responsible for this is anesthesiologist. If you have had surgery, probably you may know this situation and you may know this word, anesthesiologist. Maybe I can write an example like this. An anesthesiologist An anesthesiologist gave me an injection and I got reaction to the medicine. It can be possible. Next word that we are going to learn is cardiologist. Let me ask you a question, guys. Do you know cardiologist? Do you know what's the job of cardiologist? What kind of doctor is cardiologist? Somewhere over here, guys, here. Cardiologist. Maybe you know word cardio. If you know word cardio, you can understand cardiologist. Yes, Rana, you are correct. Cardiologist is a doctor for heart. True. Next, we have got critical care medicine specialist. Critical care medicine specialist is a doctor who treats patients who have very, very difficult situation. Critical care, probably you understand, very, very important care unit. And doctors who work in this department are called critical care medicine specialists. And also we have got here dermatologist. Do you know dermatologist, guys? In Turkish, it has totally different name. When I heard first time Turkish name for this doctor, I was shocked because there is absolutely no connection for me. I could not connect Turkish word and English words to each other because usually for this type of words like doctors in every language, we use same root, we just change the ending. For example, in my language, in Georgian, it is dermatology. Cardiologist is cardiology. But in Turkish, it has, wow, the totally different meaning. And PTR, you are correct. Dermatologist is the doctor who cares about our skin. Skin problems doctor we call dermatologist. And also we have got here endocrinologist. Endocrinologist is the doctor who treats what? Do you know who is endocrinologist? And Peter says that we use this word in Turkish. But for dermatologist, I thought cildiye in Turkish. What is cildiye? Is not it dermatologist? And guys, at the same time, what do you think about endocrinologists? Who do you think is endocrinologist? So you have two words in Turkish, cildiye and dermatologist. You use both. As for endocrinologist, endocrinologist is a doctor who treats hormones, and also endocrinologists also treat glands, like something here, glands. Gland and hormones doctor is endocrinologist. Now I'm asking you please to provide me sentences with these words. Can you please give me sentences and use cardiologist or critical care medicine specialist or dermatologist or endocrinologist? Please. We learned 4 new words. Can you give me sentence? Soner says endocrinologist is same as Turkish. Ah, okay. You use same word for this one in Turkish. Good. Please give me some sentences. You can use very easy sentence. For example, I visited blah blah blah, or my grandmother went to this doctor. Just try to use these words in sentences. I can write my example sentence for dermatologists. I know a lot of dermatologists in Bursa. I have visited a lot of them because it was very difficult for me to find a good one, good doctor, because I could not understand what they spoke. They could not understand me. There was language problem and language barrier. And most of the dermatologists that I have visited did not listen to me. Cardiologists are interested in heart. Good sentence. Soner. Are interested in heart diseases. Also, we have sentence from Rana. She goes to the cardiologist for control every week. Okay. She goes to a cardiologist for control every week. We already have one sentence for cardiology, so Rana, can I change this sentence about endocrinologist? I will copy this for endocrinologist. Critical care medicine doctors should earn a lot of money. I think they should be given very, very, very high salary because they do very difficult job. Okay, thank you guys. Now next words that we are going to learn is family physicians, number 1. Family physicians, I think it's almost same in Turkish. This is like family doctor. You go to family physician for general consultation. They are not specialists in one of the field, but they have general knowledge and general idea about everything. So when you explain your symptoms to a family physician, maybe family physician can give you the diagnosis or refer you to another doctor. For example, family physician tells you that, okay, this is maybe because of a heart problem, so please go to cardiologist. Okay, infectious disease specialist, maybe you understand. This is a person who treats infectious diseases. Infectious diseases are something like bacteria can be infectious diseases, or sometimes some kind of virus maybe can be infectious disease also. A neurologist is a doctor who treats nervous system. Jada says contagious disease. Contagious disease is something that can be transferred from one person to another person. Contagious is transferred. Like, for example, if I have flu, flu is very contagious. I can transfer flu to another person. Okay, maybe because if I sneeze somewhere, this will be transferred to another person. But there are some diseases which are not contagious. For example, if I have cancer, I cannot transfer cancer to another person, okay? So contagious means transferable. It can go from you to another person. Neurologist is responsible for nervous system. And next word we have obstetrician and gynecologist. They are almost same, but as far as I remember, one of them is responsible for only giving birth, and another one is responsible for whole pregnancy period. Okay, both of them are women doctors because men cannot get pregnant. Thanks God. And one of them is responsible only for giving birth, and another one is responsible for whole pregnancy. When the person gets pregnant, from that time, obstetrician is responsible for that. So, guys, can you please provide me some sentences using these words? Maybe I can write sentence for neurologist. My father had problems with eyes, but the doctor transferred him to a neurologist. Guys, let's see your sentences for gynecologist or family physicians or infectious disease specialist. Soner says, I have cough, so I should go to family physician. Yep. Okay, let's change I with Soner. Soner coughs a lot, so he should go to a family physician. Now, guys, I'm going to change something in this sentence. Remember, we need to use modal verb should for advice. But if it is a strong advice, we should use must. I think in this situation, it is better to use must. Okay, when we are talking about doctors, if you don't go to doctor, it will be very bad. So let's use must. If you have some general health problems, you should go to a family physician, Rana says. I will write about gynecologists. I will never visit a gynecologist. Of course. And we have infectious disease specialists are working on COVID. Correct. Good job, Soner. Are working to find I changed the structure of the sentence sooner because the infectious disease specialists are working. What are they doing? They are working to find a solution for COVID. They are not working on COVID. Good. Let's move to other words. We have got oncologist. I think this is the worst doctor because oncologist is a cancer doctor, let's say, a doctor who is responsible for cancers, and it is very, very, very bad situation. A lot of respect to oncologists, but it's very bad if person needs to go to an oncologist. Next one, we have got ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist is our eyes doctor. Ophthalmologist is a doctor for eyes. As for otolaryngologist, also we can use another word, otorhinolaryngologist. Let's write that one. Otorhinolaryngologist, but it used different font. Why? Otorhinolaryngologist is a doctor who treats what? Do you know, guys? Otorhinolaryngologist. Do you know what kind of doctor is otorhinolaryngologist? Otorhinolaryngologist, it is a doctor who treats your ears, nose, and throat. Okay? Nose, ear, and throat. Doctor is called otorhinolaryngologist. Pathologist is a doctor who works with pathologies. Pathologies is abnormal situations. Okay? Not normal situations. Is pathologist. So pathologist doctor is person who works with abnormal situations. Let's see your sentences for these 4 words. You don't prefer to write the word otorhinolaryngologist? Yeah, of course it is very difficult to write or even to say this word. Rana will go to an ophthalmologist. Rana will go to an ophthalmologist. Tomorrow to check her eyes, yeah? My neighbor is an otorhinolaryngologist. The word cannot even find this word, but actually it is correct spelling of the word, guys. Just word says that it's a mistake. So we have two words left, oncologist and pathologist. Maybe we can write sentence like this: pathologist studies the effects of disease or injury. This is another job for pathologists. They study what effects can be there because of this injury or because of this disease. Okay. Oncologist, maybe we can write example later, no problem. I will talk to an oncologist about cancer. Soner will talk to an oncologist about cancer. Good. No, I mean sentence is good and correct. The situation is not good, of course. Next word, we have pediatricians. Pediatricians is children's doctor. We understand, I guess. Psychiatrist is a person who treats people with mental illness. People who are not normal, who are ill mentally, should go to psychiatrist, not psychologist. Psychologist is different, but guys, sorry, I'm mixed psychiatrist here. This one is doctor for mental illness. This one is physiatrist. Physiatrist is a doctor who helps with some physical exercises to patients. For example, if a person has surgery, usually after surgery, they might have some period that they need to do some physical exercises to get over and to recover. This kind of doctor is physiatrist. Psychiatrist is doctor for mentally ill people. Plastic surgeons, probably you understand, is the doctor who does surgeries or operations. And plastic surgeons earn a lot of money. Let's write this example. Plastic surgeons earn a lot of money. Let me ask you one very difficult question. Who is watching now? Let's see. Guys, have you ever had a plastic surgery? Be honest, please. Have you ever had a plastic surgery? Soner, have you had a plastic surgery? I have never had. I have never wanted also to have plastic surgery. But some of my friends have had plastic surgeries. I remember one of my students is a physicist. I think pediatricians can be the best wives. You will not need to care about your baby's health problems. If you marry to a pediatrician, that can be the best wife, like a mother, best mother. For psychiatrists, maybe we can write this sentence. pulmonologist is the doctor who treats lung problems and breathing problems. So something that is related to breathing is pulmonologist. Radiologist is a doctor who is responsible for X-rays. Do you know X-ray, guys? Like they take some kind of photo. No problem, Soner. They take a photo and the photo doesn't have colors. It is only black and white. This is X-ray. And radiologist is the person who takes this photo. Rheumatologist is a doctor who treats rheumatics. I don't know actually how to explain it, but if there is a problem about some problem with bones, for example, and how the bone joints, they are not in a good situation, this is because of rheumatics, and the doctor who treats this is rheumatologist. Sports medicine specialist, it is not popular in every country. We have it in Turkey as far as I know, but in my country, for example, we don't use sport medicine specialists. This is a doctor who works with sportmen and sportwomen. And as I said, in some countries we have special doctor for this. In some countries we don't have special doctor for this. Next word, we have got general surgeon. We already know surgeon, and we talked about plastic surgeon. Now, general surgeon. For all other types, we use general surgeon. Paramedic is a doctor who works with people like ambulance doctors. We can say that ambulance doctor is paramedic, emergency doctor is paramedic. And we have got last word, urologist. Urologist is a doctor who works with men and women both about their about the urine system. So if you have some problems with your male or female organs and the urine system, you should go to urologist. Can you guys give me some sentences about these words? I will write a sentence about urologist. Others you can provide. Actually, one of my friends is a paramedic. I can also write the sentence. So you have other words left. Please, guys, give me some sentences with these words: pulmonologists, radiologists, rheumatologists, sports medicine specialist, and general surgeon. When I go to Georgia, I will take my mom to a rheumatologist. I think all words are easy. And we use same kind of sentences for all of them. I will visit, I will go, and etc. No problem if you don't give me example. She tries to quit smoking after her... Okay, PTR, good sentence. She is trying to quit smoking after her visit with a pulmonologist. She goes to pulmonologist regularly because she has asthma. Good one. Radiologists usually work in the basement. Soner needs advice about vitamins, and he will go to a sports medicine doctor. Good. Now, guys, let's learn some of the departments or the rooms in the hospital. First room that we will learn is consulting room. Probably everyone understands consulting room. This is where you visit your doctor for consultation. Day room is a place where patients can watch TV. They can go during the day and they can watch TV or just rest there. So this is like living room. Imagine living room for the hospital. Like at home you have living room. At the hospital the patients have this day room. Okay. Next word that we have is ward. Ward is a room where patient stays. For example, patient needs to stay 10 days in a hospital, so she will be in a ward. Delivery room is the room where women give birth to babies. Emergency department, or it also has short name, ER, emergency room. This is where patients are taken with an ambulance. So if somebody comes with an ambulance, they take person to emergency department because something needs to be done very, very, very quickly. Intensive care unit, or ICU, as we have short form, is the department where patients are in a very difficult situation and they might die. These kind of patients are in intensive care unit. Okay, maternity ward, it is same like delivery room. So actually we can write these together. Nursery is for children. This is a room for kids and children. Operating room is where surgeons work and where they give surgery. This we call operating room. But there is something very interesting. In American English, we call it operating theater. I don't know why surgery is performance and why they use theater for this, but yeah, we call operating room in British English and operating theater in American English. I have been to an operating theater twice. I have had 2 surgeries as far as I remember, so I have been to operating theater twice. Ped cell, this is a room for mentally ill people. So people who have mental problems, they are in ped cell. People with mental problems are kept in ped cells. Guys, do you know first aid kit? Do you know the meaning of first aid kit? Do you know first aid and first aid kit? First aid is like first help. If something happens, for example, car accident, the first solution or first medical help we call first aid, and first aid kit is necessary to be in every car. This one has first aid kit has like medical spirit and these kind of like easy things. Every car must have a first aid kit. This is a law in my country, but I don't know if it is law in every country. That's why I wrote must. Maybe it's not law for Turkey, I'm not sure. So which words do we have left? Consulting room, day room. And these ones over here. Can you guys please give me some sentences about consulting room, day room, delivery room, emergency department, intensive care unit, and nursery? Actually, nursery has also different usage and meaning. At some companies, organizations, banks, schools, they have special room for kids and children where children play. This room is called nursery. Also at home, when you prepare a playroom for your kids, this is nursery room. Rana says she works in ER. Okay. Maybe we can write sentence like this. There are 10 consulting rooms on this floor. Guys, have you ever stayed in a hospital? Have you ever been to a ward? Have you been into a ward? She works, of course, I forgot S. And if you have stayed in hospital, did you use day room? Did you use day room when you were at hospital? Day room is important for resting or relaxation. Absolutely correct. Let's try to come up with sentences for delivery room, intensive care unit, and nursery. I will help you. Esra is a gynecologist, so she spends a lot of time in a delivery room. Patients whose situation is critical are treated in intensive care unit. And nursery, kids like playing at the nursery. Good. I think, guys, we have learned enough words. Now we can have a break, and after the break, we will continue with some tests about hospitals, and we will learn some things about health insurance as well. So please stay with us. I will be back in 15 minutes. Okay? Enjoy your break.
Olduğun yerden hemen kalkman gerek. Adım at ki gerçekleşsin her dilek. Bekliyor seni parlak bir gelecek. Sen ona gittikçe o sana gelecek. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel.
A world with a joy and smile, a world where everyone will live by satisfaction and learn to survive in the outside world, Justenglish style. Learn, play, sing and dance, do what you don't see anywhere else. Learn, play, sing and dance, do but do Justenglish style.
Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, macerayla tanış. Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, bu dünyaya karış. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justenglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel.
Knife. Enthusiastic.
Pronunciation.
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiasm. Enthusiastic.
Reci bilmiyorum. Recipe. Recipe. Bir daha. Recipe.
Clark. Pronunciation.
Olduğun yerden hemen kalkman gerek. Adım at ki gerçekleşsin her dilek. Bekliyor seni parlak bir gelecek. Sen ona gittikçe o sana gelecek. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel.
A world with a joy and smile, a world where everyone won't live by satisfaction and urge to survive in the outside world, Justenglish style. Learn, play, sing and dance, do what you don't see anywhere else. Learn, play, sing and dance, do what do Justenglish style.
Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, macerayla tanış. Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, bu dünyaya karış. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel.
Knife.
Hi again, I'm back with you guys, and as I promised you, during this lesson we will do tests about hospitals vocabulary that we learned, and also we are going to learn some words about health insurance and do exercises about insurance. Okay, so first test that I prepared for you is multiple choice questions. Very easy, I think, and we can answer all of them correctly, I hope. Number 1 says, my doctor prescribed, persuaded, or persisted some medicine for me. Which one is correct, guys? Prescribed, persuaded, or persisted? A, B, or C? For number 1. Also, during the break time, I saw Pelin's question. She asked, the day room patient don't stay in the room or don't stay. Which one is true? The day room patients don't stay at the hospital, we can say. But actually, day room has different meaning. I think you understood day room differently. Day room is for taking rest, for watching TV, for reading some newspapers and magazines. So I think you are mixing up the meaning of day room. Hi, Ramazan. So guys, for number 1, my doctor prescribed, persuaded, or persisted. Which one is correct? Gülşen says prescribed, and it is absolutely correct. True. Number 2, I'm having hard sleeping, trouble sleeping, or difficulty sleeping. Which one do we need for number 2? I'm having hard, trouble, or difficulty. Pay attention that this is ing form. Hard is not correct in this case because structure is different. If we use hard, we need to. For example, it is hard to sleep. So for this one, guys, we need to use trouble. I have trouble and ing. Okay. Number 3, the doctor told me to take the pills, eat the pills, or consume the pills 3 times a day. Pill, like medicine. What do you do? Take, eat, or consume the pills. Rumeysa says take. And Ramazan also says take. It is correct. Thank you, guys. Number 4, he hurried a few tests. He carried a few tests, or he ran a few tests. It means he performed a few tests. Which one do we use? He did a few tests. Which one has same meaning? To do a test, perform a test, or hurry, carry, or run the test. Ramazan, you think correct. We use he ran a few tests. It has same meaning, he did a few tests. Number 5, we have got like this. To come clean with something, to come out with something, or to come down with something. Same meaning with to become ill. For example, I came down with flu, I came out with flu, I came clean with flu. Which one is correct, guys? Ramazan and Oskay or Ozcay, I'm not sure how to say in Turkish, maybe Ozcay, say down, and you are correct, guys. Rumeysa also joined them. True, down. Number 6, you can expect to make a full recovery, fully recovery, or foolproof recovery. Pay attention that we have a article, so we need adjective form here. And recovery is noun, so we need an adjective here. Which one is adjective? Full or fully? This time, guys, you are not correct. We need to say a full recovery, not fully. Because fully is adverb, full is adjective. Gulshan gave correct answer. Number 7. A general practitioner can bring you to a specialist, refer you to a specialist, or report you to a specialist. Like general practitioner is same with family doctor in Turkey. Let's say family doctor send you to different specialists. What do we call this? Bring, refer, or report? Meanwhile, please don't forget to like our videos on YouTube and Facebook and also Twitter accounts, and write some good comments about the teachers if you like them. Rumeysa has given correct answer. Refer is true. Number 8. A test to check your blood is called a blood exam, blood test, or blood trial. When you go to a doctor to check your blood, to check hemoglobin, red cells, white cells, and etc. in your blood, this is blood exam, blood test, or blood trial. I don't see any answers. Maybe steam is coming a little low. Blood trial, blood trial. It's not correct, guys. In this case, we use blood test. I think same in Turkish. Also use test in Turkish. Number 9. This woman has lost a lot of blood. She might require a blood test, blood bank, or blood transfusion. So imagine there was a car accident and the person lost a lot of blood. So we need to take blood from another person and put in this woman's body. Test blood from another person. We need to find blood donor, take blood from this donor, and do blood transfusion. Ramazan and Osçay are correct. Question number 10. My doctor was able to tell and treat my disease, or diagnose and treat my disease, or say and treat my disease. Tell, diagnose, or say. Transfusion is same in Turkish. I was so shocked and surprised how you could answer these questions so easily. I did not know transfusion is same in Turkish. Ramazan says diagnose for number 10, and of course it is correct. Diagnose is number 10. Now, next exercise, we need to choose the correct word. We have 2 possible words and you need to choose which one is correct. Number 1, the doctor gave me a prescription or recipe for medicine to help my cough. So, prescription or recipe? Which one is correct for number 1, guys? Prescription or recipe? These ones are usually very common mistakes. A lot of students mix up these words, prescription and recipe, when we need to use prescription, when we need to use recipe. I'm watching your answers. Let's see. Prescription. True. Prescription is correct for this one. So let's highlight correct answer. Prescription. Let's make it green. Number 2. Doctors are concerned with appearance or about the appearance of a new virus. Which one do we need? With or about? Gülşen, you are correct. Recipe, we use about food, meals, dishes. Yes. For example, can you give me the recipe for this cake? Number 2. Concern with or concern about? Actually, generally, we can use both. Concern with something, concern about something, but they have different meaning. If we say concern about, it means to be afraid of something. So in this situation, we need to use, of course, about, because doctors are afraid of this new virus. Concern with, it means to be involved with to be involved in something without danger. Number 3, everybody knows that smoking is one of the reasons of heart disease or one of the causes of heart disease. Reasons or causes? What do you think about number 3, guys? Oksana says causes, and it is correct. Next one, number 4. If you climb the stairs, instead of always taking the lift, you would get more gymnastics or more exercise. Ramazan and Jada also gave me correct answer for number 3. Now we are on number 4. If you climb the stairs instead of always taking the lift, taking the elevator, you would get more exercise. Correct, Jada and Oksana and Ramazan. Number 5, you should breathe deeply when you exercise. What is this? Breathe with E or without E? One of them is verb, one of them is noun, guys. Same meaning, but one of them is verb and one of them is noun. Which one is correct in this sentence? See, should is a modal verb, so we need to use verb here, not noun. First one is verb, so we need this one here. Second one is noun. Question number 6 says, you'd better remind him to take his medicine now, or you'd better remember him to take his medicine now. Remind or remember? Also, there is a pronunciation difference. First one is breathe, second one is breath. Take a deep breath. Gülşen says remind for number 6. Oksana also says remind, and you are correct, guys. Number 7, he has bruised his leg or foot badly below the knee. Cihan and Jada also gave correct answer for number 6. Now we're on number 7. He has bruised his leg or foot badly below the knee. If you watched my video 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did lesson about body and anatomy, and you should remember what is leg and what is foot. Oksana and Cihan say leg, and you are correct, guys. In this sentence, we need to use leg. Number 8, unfortunately, I took on or put on a lot of kilos or a lot of weight while I was studying for my exams. I don't know about exams, but I can say that same situation happened with me because of coronavirus pandemic. Being at home for 2.5 months has paid badly to my body. I have gained 9 kilos. Guys, took on or put on, which one do we use? When you become like this. Oksana has correct answer for first one, put on. True, but second one, we need to use a lot of weight. Actually, you can also say kilos, but it's not popular. Weight is more popular way to say it. In next exercise, we have the gaps, and you need to fill the gaps. Number 1 says people, I don't know what happened with it. Okay. People in hospital with some form of illness are known as what? What do we call people who are ill? What do we call people who are ill? We use a special word. Gülşen says patients, and it is correct. Sentence number 2. When they first arrive at the hospital, when patients first arrive at the hospital, a doctor or nurse, blah, 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 them. So doctor or nurse, like give permission to enter the hospital. Ramazan, if we use take, we also need something like take them in, maybe, or something like that. This one is kind of difficult, and I will help you with this. A doctor or nurse admits them. Admit is to give permission to enter something. Admits them and show them to a bed in a... Do you remember what we call a room where patients stay at night? So there is a bed in this room. What do we call this special room? We learned during the first lesson. PTR is correct. Yes, we need to say ward for this one. Sentence number 3 says, there may be a letter of something from another doctor explaining the history. For example, if you go to dermatologist, but your family doctor sent you to dermatologist. Do you remember we discussed this situation as a verb? It was last question. One doctor sent you to another doctor. What was the verb that we use in this case? One doctor sent you to another doctor. PTR, you are correct, refer, but here we will use noun form, so referral. A letter of referral. Number 4, many medical personnel have to be ready to go to work in the event of an emergency if they are, this one probably you don't know. We have two types of doctors. Doctors who work like normal time at the hospital, and also we have some extra doctors, and if the hospital needs these doctors, they call the doctors and the doctor must come. So these kind of doctors we call on-call. Number 5, patient is well enough to go home. So tomorrow he will be out of hospital. Maybe you don't know this word. He will check out is correct, but here we have be. So we need to use, Gulshen, you are correct, discharged. Discharged from the hospital. Number 6, when colleagues are absent from work because of illness, others will have to, for example, your friend did not come to work because she is ill and she has presentation today. So what do you need to do? You need to do this presentation instead of her. What do we call this situation? When you are doing someone's job instead of that person. It's a very easy word, guys. Come on. One teacher did not come to Justenglish, for example, and my boss asked me, Lasha, can you blah 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 this teacher? So I teach lesson because another teacher cannot come. What is this action? Correct answer for this one is Oksana says replace. Others will have to replace is like little bit different. Replace is changing old thing with new one. We don't fire this person from the work just for one day or something. PTR has given correct answer, cover or substitute. We can use these two words. Now guys, let's move to insurance and learn some words about insurance. First word we have got actuary. Actuary is a person who evaluates the risks, analyzes everything about insurance. So like let's say insurance person who does insurance jobs is called actuary, but this is not a person who sells insurance. Don't mix up with selling, okay? This is like financial analyst, okay? I will give you an example from one of the TV series. I don't know if you have watched this one or not, but Hot in Cleveland is the name of the TV series. And there's a character, Joy. Joy's son is an actuary in Hot in Cleveland. Assessor is the person who assesses the insurance situation. For example, there is a car accident and we need to call the assessor, the person who will come and check all the things and assess what kind of situation it is and how much money should be paid or not paid and etc. Okay? Assessor evaluates the situation. Maybe we can say like that. An assessor needs to look at the situation from different angles, from different sides, not only from one side. So the person needs to pay attention to a lot of things. Next word we have got claim. Claim is verb and noun, and we call this like an application which you fill out if there is a situation for insurance. For example, you had a car accident and you need to fill out special form. This is a claim form. Okay? After the accident, I had to fill out the claim form. Next word we have got commission. Commission is extra percentage, extra money that you pay for something. Also for insurance, we pay extra money, so this is called commission. Or maybe also we can say about salespeople, sales assistants get commission based on their sales. So their salary means that their salary is based on how much they sold. Gulshan says some people claim money from insurance after the accident. True. Correct sentence, Gulshan. We can write it. Some people claim money Next word we have got consequential loss. Consequential loss, maybe you know the word consequent or consequency. It means like a result of something. So if there is some kind of loss as a result of different thing, this we call consequential loss. For example, maybe let's say that there was an accident at work. Okay. What kind of problem there can be at work? Maybe the machine stopped working and we were not able to produce the product. So this was our consequential loss. We lost, for example, $5 million because the reason was the stop of the machine, so it is consequential loss. Cover, we already said one meaning of it. If one teacher, for example, changes another teacher and teaches lesson instead of him or her, this is cover. Now, when we are talking about insurance, cover has different meaning. It is a verb and the noun form is coverage. It depends on health insurance packages, but sometimes health insurance does not pay for everything. So what the health insurance pays for, we call this cover. For example, I have health insurance, SGK in Turkey, and it does not cover dental work. So if I go to a dentist, SGK will not pay this money. Okay? Cover. Also, in some countries, insurance packages don't cover 100%, but they cover 80% or 70%. For example, I paid 100 TL at the hospital, but the insurance company covered 80%. So the insurance company gave me only 80 liras because this is my package, 80% coverage. Now, if you have insurance at your work, we need to know two words: employer's liability and employee's liability. We can use liability or we can use share as well. For example, let's say that company has insurance package and company pays for one person yearly 1,000 liras. Okay, as an example, 1,000 lira is for one person's insurance. Now the company can pay maybe 600 liras, so this will be employer's share, and employee will pay 400 liras, so this will be employee's share. If the insurance cost is 1,000 TL and the employer's share is 600 TL, employee's share will be will be 400 TL. Okay, so employer's share means how much employer pays, and employee's share means how much employee pays for insurance. This is example for both words, so let's merge these. Next word, we have got insurance broker. Insurance broker is someone who sells insurance. We don't say insurance seller, we call it insurance broker. Guys, do you know any insurance broker companies in Turkey, or maybe a person? Maybe I can give you a sentence like this. Insurance brokers are very dangerous people. I watched a movie yesterday about insurance broker, and she did a lot of bad things to people. That's why I'm giving you this example. Loss, probably you understand the meaning of this word, loss. If something is lost, we can use as a noun loss. For example, sometimes maybe death can also be loss. If we are talking about health insurance, the injury will be also loss. The death of someone will be also loss. So this was the loss of the company. Policy. Do you know what is policy when we are talking about insurance? Policy is some kind of rules, one meaning. If we are talking about health and insurance, policy means like the document which you have as your insurance. Insurance policy also we can call it. And the person who has insurance we call policy holder. So the person who has insurance is policy holder. My mother doesn't have insurance, so I will write that my mother is not a policy holder. We don't have an insurance policy. I think in Turkey you don't need any card or something like that, but in my country, for example, if you have private insurance, you have a card. It's like business card or credit card, and this card you can call the policy in my country. Next word that we will call is premium. Premium is the money that you pay for insurance. So like the cost of insurance is premium, and usually we pay premium on a monthly basis. So you pay some money every month for your insurance. I'm not sure about the structure in Turkey, but in other countries it's like that. When I worked in my home country, my insurance policy premium was $10 every month. Reinsurance is to insure again. For example, there are a lot of insurance companies, local insurance companies, and they reinsure their insurances with international companies. For example, let's say there is a Turkish company and its name is Aldagi, and I buy insurance from this company. Now, what should this company do? The company also needs insurance, so it reinsures all the company's insurance with some international company. Okay? Insurance companies often use reinsurance. I think we finished all the words that we were going to learn today. I wanted to do some listening exercises about insurance, but unfortunately we don't have time left for the listening. No problem, we can do some other time about different topic. Thank you very much for watching the video and being so active today. I wish you a very good evening and night. Please stay safe and healthy and don't use your insurance for this period. Please try to stay very healthy and enjoy your evening. If you are interested in YDS exam, today at 9 o'clock there is a lesson with Miss Fatma Nur, and you can of course join her lessons. And I hope to see you some other time for my lessons. Bye bye.